Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Kaiser here. Today's video is an important math video regarding disenchanting. Now we're in the off season, but I want to let you know the math behind everything as we prepare for season 2. So without further ado, let's begin. So first things first, I want to let you guys see that all the information you'll ever need is in the Discord for AXIE Infinity, and just click on the pin messages in the Origins Arena channel, and you'll get to see all the information which was put up by the moderators and developers in the past, as well as some really important community members. So this is one of them, the season 1 disenchant rate. I'm just gonna put it into Paint, pop it out, and put it into the slideshow because it's very important. Now one thing, if you noticed in the past for season 0, the disenchant rates was actually much different and much more generous actually compared to the disenchant rates right now. But the cool thing about the disenchant rates for season 1 is that if you disenchant them before end of season, before the new season begins, you get a lot of moon shards back. You get a very good rate back. This will come important later on as we go deeper into this video. So for the 3 important charts I want to focus on today is the first one, which is the disenchanting rates. The second one, which is this one, crafting levels, like at what level do you unlock a certain thing. And the third one is this one, at how much moon shards do you require to go up a level. This 3, I'll just put them into the pane, pop it out, and paste it. Okay, we can begin. So the math behind disenchanting is really simple. If you can just add and subtract with a calculator on your phone, you'll be able to get through this. So let's begin with what we know so far. What do we know? We need to have constant things we know, and they won't change, so we can base our judgment on. And I think we can start with the amount we know we'll get if we disenchant at the current disenchanting rate. You may say, oh, but then we don't know if the developers will change anything because we don't know the future. That is true, but I want to take them at their word for it, that they say they won't change it anymore. So let's just assume that they won't change it. Then we can estimate how much moon shards and SLP we get, and then we have a benchmark to tweak. So we're gonna do it like we believe what they're saying, then we get a benchmark, and then we tweak the benchmark based on whatever they say changes, with maybe circumstantial change or the markets change, like the price of AXS changed so much that they have to tweak things. So it is more systematic in a way. It's not gonna be like chaotic, and we'll only take into account season 1. We won't take into account season 0, like if you had season 0 runes and charms and you want to disenchant it right now, or if you want to disenchant it for season 2, how much would you get? Now we will only take into account season 1 runes and charms based on rarity and relevance. I say relevance because some rarities are complete waste of time. You don't need commons, for example. Maybe the common runes you need, but the common charms don't give anything. We'll go into detail later. How many rune and charms do I have? You should ask yourself this as well. You should always take into account how many runes and charms you own. You need to take into account how many commons, rares, epics, and mystics you own for each rune and charm. And once you know how much you have, then you can calculate everything else. But take some time right now. Go into your inventory in the AXIE game and take a look. How many do you have? Now I don't count the ones we get for free, the one for season 1.5, that I don't count, because those cannot be disenchanted. If you go into the game, scroll up in your charms tab, you will notice that there is a small diamond which says that this item is undisenchantable. So you cannot get rid of it. It's there, and it'll expire when the new season comes out. So we'll only take into account season 1 runes and charms, not season 1.5, not season 0, season 1. So that totals to 320 runes. Common runes. Wait a minute, I just calculated charms. Yeah, okay, 320 charms. My bad. If you notice, there is a pattern which goes into the disenchant rates. Charms always give you lesser moon shards and SLP as compared to runes, because charms are easier to get, so it's quite fair in a sense. Okay, leftover potion, mini legion, thick shield. I think out of all these common runes, I think leftover potion is the best, and the close second one is tough strike. for the time and date, actually I'm recording this on the 7th of January, so but when you see this, it'll be out maybe a day late or something. But the concepts and techniques I use is meant to be carried on to the next season and the next, so I don't have to keep doing this video already. But the reason why I'm making another revision of the math behind disenchanting for this version is because I think there are some new tips and tricks that I can give to you which you can use, which is in a way an updated way of thinking about things. Thoughts I have right now is I think the developers might change they might not change the disenchant rates because they already promised they won't change it. So if we take their word for it, maybe they'll change something else. Maybe they'll change the amount of charms you can craft per day, or they'll change the cost to craft the charm or rune, or the cost to maybe the level gap per craft level, how much you need to level up. Maybe they'll change that, because we already knew that they changed the minting cost. Now to mint, it is based on rarity, not based on a flat rate. In the past, it's a flat rate of $3 US, but now it can go all the way up to $15 for Mystic. So that's another thing we have to keep in mind. But we won't talk about that a lot in today's video. Today's video is just straight up disenchanting. How much will I get? How much do I expect to get? And what should I do to start preparing for that? Okay, so that is the rune and charms I have. I have 106 common runes, 54 rare runes, 15 epic runes, and 4 mystic runes. For common charms, I have 320, rare 139, and then it goes significantly less after that because we don't get more. 55 epic charms and 3 mystic charms. So to go into the math, we must first have an idea of how much we'll get if we disenchant. If you notice, we don't get much SLP back from disenchanting our runes and charms. But for moonshards, it's much more generous. The developers are much more generous, so they'll even give you 2 moonshards per common rune, which is pretty good if you ask me. We're gonna get a lot of common runes in the season, especially if we don't craft NFT versions of these. Still pretty good, still giving you 2. Thinking about it right now, the rune disenchant rates which I'm showing right now is the moonshard one. So we didn't include SLP, we're gonna include SLP, right? It is so much more efficient, so much more better to disenchant non-NFT runes and charms than to disenchant NFT ones. So if possible, I don't know, this is just a hypothesis. I don't have anything to prove it, but based on my intuition and what I feel, if you were to disenchant something in the new season, disenchanting a non-NFT rune and charm gives you so much more value than disenchanting an NFT rune and charm. And then you might say, oh, then what do I do with my NFT rune and charm in season 2? Well, don't even have it to begin with in the first place. If you were to disenchant it in the off season before season 2, I think you get a better value for your SLP, not for your moonshards. You're not gonna get a better value for moonshards. But from an SLP standpoint, you might get some money back, at least some money back. You disenchant the rare rune, and an NFT rare rune, you get at least 20 SLP back. For the 50 you might have used to do it, which is not a bad deal. It's still a very bad deal, but it's not as bad as if you were to disenchant it in season 2. But if you really need the moonshards, oh yeah, just go ahead. I guess so that is something I have to pay attention to in season 2. To try my best to sell off the runes and charms at a break even or at a profit. At the very least, break even. Because if I can sell it at a break even, then I'm not losing money. Because if I disenchant them, even in the off season, I'm still losing money. Because for obvious reasons, really. And I'm talking about the NFT versions of runes and charms. If it's non-NFT, anything goes. Anything goes. Everything, if you disenchant, is good value, and it's better the higher the rarity. Okay, as you can see, Mystic gives you a lot, whereas it gets significantly less as you go down each tier. Common runes give you 2, 0 SLP, 2 moonshot, 0 SLP. Rare runes give you 25 moonshot, 2 SLP. Epics give you 187 moonshots, 18 SLP. Mystics gives you 1,215 moonshots, 125 SLP. For charms, those are the runes for charms. Commons give you nothing, 0 moonshots, 0 SLP. Rare charms give you 8 moonshots, 0 SLP. Epic charms give you 62 moonshots, 6 SLP. And mystic charms give you 416 moonshots and 41 SLP. you're saying, oh, but I could just read it from screen. Yeah, but if you treat this like an audiobook, you might want to listen to me reading it out for you. You know, numbers work in that way. So based on what I have right now, if I disenchanted all my common runes, I'll only get 212 moon shards, no SLP. Rare runes, if I disenchant them, 108 SLP, but 1350 moon shards. Epic runes give me 2805, 270 SLP. Mystic runes give me 5000 moon shards and 500 SL. Common charms, nothing, 0. In fact, I have a feeling I should just disenchant them right now. At least I could get back something. Rare charms, if I disenchant all of them, I'll get 1112 moon shards, 0 SLP. Epic charms give me 3410 moon shards, 330 SLP. Mystic charms give me, I guess, 1248 moon shards and 123 SLP. If I were to total all of my moon shards and SLP I can get once I disenchant them in season 2, I would amount to 5137 moon shard and 1331 SLP. At any point in this video, you can just pause and look at the screen if you want to refer to the numbers. But that is the total amount of moon shards and SLP I'll get for all the effort I've been putting out for season 1 and the off season. Not bad actually. I expected less, really. The pessimist in me is coming out right now. I expected way less. This is if the developers don't change anything. So if everything remains the same, this is the amount I'm gonna get, which is quite good. Alright, we now have our benchmark. Now let's use our benchmark to figure out what we're gonna get. Assuming day 1, season 2, we have this amount of moon shards and this amount of SLP. How far can we go? So looking at this table, if we take 17,500, which is the crafting level requirement for level 6, and deduct the moon shards I have, which is 15,000 plus, I'll get 2363, which means I'll be at level 5. I'll be at level 5, and I need 2,363 more to reach level 6. Not bad. I wouldn't have enough to reach level 6 with my SLP also, but that's fine. Assuming if I have 1,331 SLP, deducting the 1100 SLP to hit level 5, I'll have about 231 SLP remaining. That would mean also if 15,137 moon shards were to deduct 11,000, I'll have about 4,000 remaining. Now let's look at this. The reason why I screenshot this and crop it in because I want to know what will happen at level 5. Yeah, level 5 I will be able to get to unlock intermediate crafting. Wait, this changes things. I can't calculate based on just, yeah. Let's change it a little bit because the math would change once I hit level 5. I wouldn't be using 500 anymore for a craft. Why would I use 500 for a craft when I could use 1000 for the intermediate craft instead of the basic? So that changes things a little bit. Let's do it this way. Okay, let's do 15137 minus 11,000. That is to hit minimum level 5. I'll be left with 4,000 plus, right? 4,000 how much? 4137. Alright, 4137 is the moon shards I'll get. Okay, now let's count the SLP. We need both factors here. We need both moon shard and SLP. So 1331 minus 1100 will get 231. Okay, now let's see what's available. Okay, it costs 600. No, we're not gonna do that. That's not it. We do the intermediate Ronin A. 600 is for, I don't know what is it for. I think I only use it if I really have no choice or I'm desperate. Let's do Ronin A. Ronin A, I would require 100 SLP and 1000 moon shards. Okay, back to the drawing board. That would mean I have enough for 4 Ronin A's. I think. 4 Ronin A's and 2 Ronin A's for my SLP. Oh, we need to take into account basics as well. To go into level 2, I require 500 moon shards. So, how many basic Ronin A's would that be? 5. Yeah, let's do 11,000. 11,000 minus 500 we'll get 10500. So that's the amount of moon shards we need to hit level 5. That would be how many Ronin A's? Let's just divide it by 500 because one basic Ronin A is 500. So that'll be 21. So there'll be 21 crafts of basic Ronin A, which will get us to intermediate level, which is level 5. And then once we hit level 5, our moon shards allow us to craft 4 times intermediate. But we won't have enough SLP for that. We lack about 169 more SLP. Yeah, I think the math checks out. In a way, this method of calculating is much more reliable than if I were just to use 17,500 to deduct the 15,000 moon shards I have. That's a very lazy way of calculating. This is more accurate because this shows what I'll actually get when day 1 hits. Season 2 day 1. I definitely have enough SLP, don't worry about that. That SLP is just the amount I'll get if I disenchant. I still have backup SLP available and ready to go. It's the moon shards I'm worried about because that's the only moon shards I'll ever get on day 1, unless if I grind on day 1 itself. So there's no changes to anything. If everything stays the same, we will hit level 5 crafting level, and we'll do 21 basic Ronin A's and up to 4 intermediate Ronin A's. Well, you want to say up to 4? We definitely know we can hit 2 intermediate Ronin A's for sure. 2 intermediates, yeah. Should we do B? Nah, I don't like B. B is way too expensive. Way too far. Well, that is not reality. Reality is that things change. Things can change. And if the developers change things, we need to be ready. Any of the factors which we talked about earlier could change. And take this with a grain of salt. I don't want to be very hard on the developers or the AXIE team. But I want to know that I have the data to prove myself that it can change. And if it changes, what should I be ready for? Okay, what can they change? They could change the crafting cost. It means a basic Ronin A might not cost 500 moonshots and 50 SLP. It might cost 1000 moonshots and 100 SLP. Who knows? Cost 600 moonshots. To be safe, let's assume that they go up, so maybe 750 moonshots, 75 SLP. So if they change the crafting cost and everything else remained constant, all they did was lower the amount of supply of runes and charms which will be in the marketplace. Crafting levels don't change, so hitting the crafting level 5 won't change. The disenchanting rates didn't change, so we will still get a high amount of moonshots and SLP to be able to do all this. All of these could change at the same time. I'm just gonna show you one factor at a time so you're not overwhelmed. And I'm not overwhelmed. So when I speak, it's more coherent and Alright, if the craft cost goes up, everything else stays constant, not much difference. The only difference is the number of runes and charms I can craft. Now what if the level increases? What if you need more moon shards to go up a level? Everything else remains constant. This is pretty tricky because we won't be able to hit level 5, but we'll definitely get in a lot of basic Ronin A's. And it's impossible for me to hit level 5 on day 1 unless I do Ronin B's, which if you know me really well, I'm not gonna do it unless I'm desperate. So it's very sad to start crafting potential epics. Is that a good thing? I'm not sure, but I know for sure that everyone else is gonna feel the pain as well, trying to hit level 5 on day 1. The final factor they could change is the disenchant rates. This is bad though. This is very bad. I'm not saying that it's not going to happen. It's still a possibility. But this affects both the leveling up and the crafting cost. No, not really. It doesn't affect the crafting cost, but it affects the number of runes and charms I can craft. And this is terrible. I don't think the developers will do this. I mean, if they've already promised that they won't change things, and then they change things again, it's gonna lower the confidence of all the Lunacians in AXIE. But I still want to put it out there, just in case. So when it happens, you're ready for it. If the disenchant rates change, how much would we expect them to change? Okay, the last time the developers did this, they did this on season 0, mind you. They said that we are going to give you this disenchant rate if you wait 1 season and you disenchant. So suddenly, a lot of people got into the hype. Even G-Host was saying that, did you know you can just hold on to your runes and charms, and then when you disenchant them in a new season, you're gonna get back a lot of moonshots, then you can speed up your process. He thought the same thing I did. He didn't know, I didn't know that they're gonna change the disenchant rate, and they did. They told us they're gonna give us 50% of whatever we're gonna disenchant. Not this version, they're gonna give us 50% of whatever we disenchant. And then when it came out, no, it's not 50%, it's 12.5%. It's like significantly lower than what we have been promised. And I could go on and rant about it, but never mind. What I'm trying to say is they could do it again. So if they do it again, to just divide whatever our benchmark numbers are by 2. That's it. I guess that's the worst it'll ever be. If they want to make it times 12.5% again, I think that's going to make a lot of people angry. I don't think that will happen. I hope that doesn't happen. And it also undermines all our efforts. All of the effort we put into season 1 and off season 2 to hoard, Anyways, the benchmark of moonshots and SLP will change into 7568 MS moonshots and 665 SLP. And I think this is very sad. I don't think the developers will do it. I don't think they'll do it. You know what? I'm gonna have faith and say they won't do it. As much as my emotions tell me, yeah, I might get hit again, but no, I'm gonna take a leap of faith and say that I trust the developers and they won't do this to us. You know what? I'll just tell you what I plan to do. Since common charms do not give any SLP or any moon shards, I'm going to disenchant them right now. Right after I'm done with this slideshow, I'm going to disenchant it. And you're going to watch me do it. Get some moon shards back. And then craft more. You know, hoping to get at least a rare charm, or a rare rune, or a common rune. Anything besides a common charm. Those moonshots you cannot cash them out as money. Might as well just craft them into, or repurpose them into potentially better charms or runes. And in a way, we can call this converting dead common charms into useful rare charms. It's better than letting them expire. Really is better. So that's plan number 1. Disenchant all common charms. Season 1 common charms. To craft more rune and charm. Is this feeling my gambling? No, it's not really. It's not reinvesting into the business, but it's a more efficient way to reuse my resources. Yeah, so that's step number 1. Step number 2, just be ready to disenchant all my season 1 runes and charms when season 2 launches. Day 1, season 2. In fact, minute 1 or yeah, the first 5 minutes. I guess this is a non-advice because you kind of already know this, but here is me reminding you again to be ready. Always be ready. Always pay attention and be ready. We never know when any new things will drop. Like, I was late by half an hour when the accessories are available to sell, and I was late. If not, I could have sold my accessories for much higher price. But well, I learned. Do I have a step 3? Not really. I think I'll just do step 1 and I'll keep doing it because we still have many more days in the off season. We have maybe 21 more days. I don't know. I have no idea. Wait, maybe 11 more days. What I heard, rumor has it, it's 19th of January. But don't take my word for it. Keep your eyes peeled in the announcements. Yeah, maybe 11 more days of grinding. So whenever I grind and I get common charms, I'm gonna disenchant it. Definitely gonna disenchant it. And then use it to craft potentially better charms. And remember, whenever you're in the marketplace, to use the code CAISERFYN. Alright? Nice. Let's go into the disenchanting. I can't wait to do this. I never knew that disenchanting common charms would be so good. And you get to see me do it live. Not really live, I mean, you get to see me do it. Okay, so first things first, untick everything which is not season 1. We're just going to disenchant season 1. And we're gonna keep all the rares, the epic and the mystics. Yeah, convert. Ooh, 4,000? Wait a minute. No, this would include all the runes. I don't want the disenchantment runes. The runes can still give some money, so let us take it all down to 0. Taking all these down to 0 would leave the charms. Only the charms disenchant. Runes are fine. I'm not gambling away for 4,000 moonshots, which will only give me 4 crafts. Nah, not worth it. Okay, so I'll have 1,914 common charms. I am not disenchanting the non-seasonal ones because I could use them next season. It's evergreen. It's gonna be here forever. Might as well appreciate it and keep it in my inventory. Alright, let's disenchant 319 charms. Why is it 319? Did I count wrong? Earlier I counted 320 charms. Maybe, yeah, it's really 319. Okay, we have 2,000. Let's go. Let's go. I love the animation right now. Oh! It gives me a rare rune and a common rune. That's great. So much better than 0. And that is it. If you like this video, please remember to like and subscribe. And I wish you all the best in preparing for season 2. I know I will, and I know you will starting right after this video. Well, at least I'll encourage you to. If you notice, some of the accessories I equipped on my AXIEs look pretty cute. You can buy some also. Just remember to use code CAISERFYN. Please support. Take care.